There we go. All right, here we go, y'all. It is Monday, October the 19th, which means that we are about 2 weeks away from Election Day, November 3rd, 2020, where we have an opportunity to end this national nightmare that we've been living through the last 4 years. Welcome. My name is Rick Levy. I'm with the Texas AFL-CIO. Welcome to Labor Live at 5 or Labor Live AF. I think it's going to be AF today because we have some amazing guests with us. And anybody out there in the audience been getting any texts or phone calls from their union or from the AFL-CIO saying, "Hey, have you voted yet? Have you have you made a plan to vote? Do you know the issues that are at stake in this election? Are you ready to come out and vote?" Well, these are some of the folks that have been making those calls and sending those texts and doing all the things to elevate the election in everybody's mind. The way we do our politics in the union movement, one of the big ways is that we have members talking to members. We have 240,000 members in the state of Texas, in the Texas AFL-CIO, and we're trying to talk to as many as we can to remind them about the importance of this election for working people. And one of the ways we do that is unions who believe in our movement and who believe in making a contribution will lend some of their members and some of their staff to the effort. And so 3 people who are with us tonight are as part of that effort, and they're doing an awesome job. They're burning up the phones. I think they'd all rather be block walking and working, handing out leaflets at the plant, but they're here with us, and we're so proud. So tonight we have Tina House-Latiker, who is here with us from the American Federation of Government Employees. Hey, Tina.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I am wonderful.
All right, very good. And we have Mark Grady with the Stagehands. Mark, Local 51, correct?
Yes, sir. Hello. Nice to see everybody.
Welcome. And then we have Pablo from the Ironworkers in Fresno, California. So we're going to have to get into that. Pablo, welcome to Texas, at least electronically, and we're really glad to have you.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
All right, very good. All right, so let's get started. Tina,
yes.
What do you do when you're not doing this? Like, what were you doing before you got the call and saying, "Hey, there's some crazy people in Texas who need you"? What were you doing?
Well, I'm a national organizer for AFGE, the largest federal union representing federal workers.
Great. So what does that mean you do?
Well, I organize, I recruit, I educate. In fact, that's to me the most important part of my job is educating my members.
Great. And how did you find yourself in that work?
I've been doing it many years.
Really?
I actually started off as a federal worker. I used to work for the VA regional office in Los Angeles and got the union bug, and I've been doing it ever since. So it's been a long time.
Great. And where do you actually live?
I actually live, when I'm not on the road, in Beaumont, Texas.
All right. Represent the Golden Triangle.
Yes.
Okay.
Golden Triangle.
Right. There you go. All right. Welcome. All right. And Pablo, tell us about your job when you're not doing this kind of work.
So I'm a organizer for Local 155. So basically, I'm out there in the field informing unrepresented workers about being part of a union, and also helping those that come into the union understand the process of being part of a union.
Yeah, that's a really important part that I think sometimes we forget about. Once somebody gets into the union, it's like, okay, you're in the union, but like being in the union and actually being a union member are 2 different things.
Yeah.
So, and you're in Fresno, California. So like, how does the brother in Fresno, California end up calling union members in the state of Texas on the election?
Well, so our international, reached out to us and told us the impact that we can make in Texas. Just like when I was working on the field, there would be calls out in Texas, Arizona, and contractors needed manpower. So then we would boom out and help build the building or any structure that it is, help another brother iron worker, finish and complete a job. So that's the way I look at it. They call and they say other union members need help, and that's the way I feel. I want to be there to help.
All right. Awesome. Well, we're certainly proud to have you, and we're certainly proud of the iron workers for making such a contribution to to the effort here in Texas. I guess in California right now, I guess there's some important elections, but pretty much the state and federal ones are pretty much taken care of, I would imagine.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. And Mr. Mark, with the stagehands, tell us about you. What do you do during your day job, and how did you get hooked up with all this?
So my day job is I am the lighting board programmer for the Houston Grand Opera. So I program the lights for the show. I'm the assistant master electrician. We work with a really good team of union stagehands, building scenery and hanging lights and putting on really, really wonderful shows with really talented cast and performers. I've been working in Houston for 5 years now. I actually come from Amarillo, Texas, but I spent about 10 years in the Philadelphia area.
Wow.
So I live in Houston, Texas now. And one of my side jobs as a stagehand is I'm also for 5 years I've been chair and now co-chair of the organizing committee. So I was the chief organizer. Now I have a little bit of help, so it's kind of nice to have a little bit of help with that. But I'm also I'm now the chairman of the education committee. So I sit and I'm teaching, trying to figure out how to make us better, stronger, and the best option for labor. I also sit on a committee that we formed during Hurricane Harvey, which is our disaster relief committee. And when COVID hit, we instantly turned that committee back on. We started using a program called Action Builder through our international, and through the use of that, we've contacted and connected with the majority of our members, and just trying to provide them with the resources that they need. And by using that and talking with the Gulf Coast Area Labor Federation, they reached out and said, since you know how to use this, can you teach other people how to do it?
Wow.
I said, sure.
Yeah.
So I came on board to start doing that, and we're using some other tools called Empower to text people and reach out to people in your contacts. And it's one-on-one in a world where you can't, how I describe it to people, we can't stand on stage and talk with our friends anymore. So how do we do that? How do we make it do something different? Meaningful conversations, have conversations, connect with people.
Yeah.
So
that's the biggest challenge right now in getting, political work done is, those conversations at work are the most valuable ones. I know, Pablo, that the way your organizing works, and then, going to people's doors and sitting on their front porch and talking to them about the issues, and you can't do that. So what do you guys, you're working full time now trying to educate union members about voting and getting out on the issues. How are you spending your time? What kind of tactics are you able to use to get the word out to folks? See, I didn't call on somebody. I was going to see who was going to rise up. So now I'm going to call.
I was waiting for a call.
Go ahead, Tina.
Well, right now I'm utilizing the AFL-CIO LAN, and we're also doing Spoke. So Spoke with the texting and LAN with the phone calls.
Okay. All right, now wait a second. Time out here. This is an educational process here. So we got to explain to folks what the LAN is. Can somebody do that? Or
I give. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Pablo.
Ladies first.
Go ahead, Pablo.
You got it.
Pablo.
Yeah,
so the program itself, it has already set up with members' information, and we have a script we follow. We read the script. The script is there just to lead us and give us ideas on how to approach the member over the phone. I modify it. I change it a little bit just to be myself. It gives me some information. Then I just reach out, make a phone call, make contact.
This person actually knows what it's like to be me, and they're just not calling me blankly, So I think it's really helpful.
Yeah. So that, I was going to ask you, so we all get a bunch of stuff on our phone that irritates us, right? Whether it's telemarketers or whether it's, just spam or whatever it is. What do you want people to know, when you're calling? How do you make that connection? How do you get through that? Go ahead, Tina. I'm gonna call on you. This time.
Well, I start off by introducing myself, and I introduce myself as a fellow union member, and usually that's what catches them at that point, and then we go from there. I've been pretty fortunate this time as release staff. I'm actually making calls to my fellow union members that are here in the community that I live in. So for so many years, I've been released outside of my own hometown. So I'm really actually making some connections with some people that I actually know. So that makes it more fun as well.
Yeah, so that's a really cool point, Tina, because like the fact that you're getting to do that, because ordinarily they would send you to another state, right? A quote unquote battleground state.
Another state, or I would be in Houston.
Okay, right. A whole nother world.
A whole nother world, right?
And then Pablo, you're here in Texas, and that's another indication that like usually, you know, unions would be recruiting their members here to go to Ohio or go to Wisconsin or Pennsylvania. And the fact that unions are recognizing the opportunities that we have here in Texas to really make some fundamental changes, your presence on this program is a real indication of that. And we're really honored to have y'all. What's the most frustrating part of your work?
Me personally, sitting down. Being an iron worker, seriously, that's the most frustrating part for me. So I have to get up sometimes and walk around because the phone banking, as iron workers, we're out in the field working hard, you know, it's hard on our body, and just sitting down and making the phone calls, it's the hardest part for me. Other than that, I could deal with the phones, talking to members, but sitting down.
How many calls do you think you make a day?
In 2 hours, about 80 calls. 85 calls. Yeah.
Wow. That's cool. So I had an idea for you, Pablo. I mean, see what you think about this, but I mean, particularly for the iron workers in our program, what if we got a little erector set and y'all could like build little buildings on your desk and stuff while you were working? You know what I mean?
Might just encourage more iron workers to come out and phone bake.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay. All right. Let me make a note of that just a minute right here. Okay. Very good. What about you, Mark? What's frustrating to you?
The things that I've had, the phone calls that I've made, and even, you know, some of the reaching out via text messages and all this other kind of stuff is the negative stuff that you get from some people that are opposed to the labor candidates, and it's frustrating because you want to say thank you for voting and thank you for having you know, participating in the election, because you don't want to discourage anybody from voting and sharing their voice. But the things that you are called and you are said about you by fellow union members, and I've been told that labor has no business being in politics. I've been told that teachers have no business being in politics, and that the AFL-CIO we need to leave the AFL-CIO because they want to kick out the police unions. This is all stuff that's been said to me, and it's very disappointing because you don't want to get in a fight and an argument with somebody, so you just end the call politely and move on your way because you don't want to engage with that, right? Yeah. So it's that beats on you a little bit sometimes, but at the end of the day, those good calls make up for it every time.
They really do. Well, let me just point out something here. You'll see at the bottom of the screen, it's scrolling through there, but you'll see a way for the folks who are watching. This is not reserved for the experts that are on this show right now. We are actively recruiting volunteers. We've had hundreds of volunteers, and as we head into the last 2 weeks, we need more. If you can go to this website, texasflcio.org/labor online, and sign up to be part of our online army. We will train you on how to make phone calls and talk to your union brothers and sisters. And we also have a really amazing program of texting union members. And I think it's the most, frankly, it's the most fun thing there is, because you can, well, I won't say it's the most fun thing there is. Okay, that was a little bit. All right. But we have one coming up on Wednesday night, and it is really fun. We get on a Zoom call. We have dozens of union members on a call, just like the four of us are now. And we do it together, and we can text literally hundreds of union members each with a message about the importance of voting, or, have you made your plan to vote? And you can engage. People seem to be much more, have you all found that people are much more willing to engage by text than by phone? Yes. Have you all picked up on that? So you get a lot of responses, both positive and negative. Sometimes the negative ones are pretty fun. Sometimes they're not. But the positive ones, like you say, connecting with another union member. So I'd like to encourage people. We need everybody to please, please, please give us an hour of your time. And I think you'll see how fun it is. Have you all been using the text program much?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
What's been your experience with it?
It's good. I mean, I liked it. You know, you do get more response, even if it's negative or positive. I like both. You know, when somebody tells me to go somewhere with myself, I just say, thank you for being a voter. Appreciate your time. You know, so yeah, it's a great experience. It's my very first time actually text banking. So
yeah, me too. Have y'all enjoyed it, Tina and Mark?
I have. In fact, I actually had someone change their tune. The first text, their first response wasn't a very welcoming one. It wouldn't be something you would want to read to your mother. And when when I responded that your vote is your choice, just make sure that you vote. They responded back and said thank you and thank you for being respectful. And I was okay.
Well,
So
okay, there you go.
hopefully the next time they receive a text from a fellow union member, they'll think twice before they respond.
There you go. And I know that one of the things we were texting people is a link to our website where they can just click on it, find the area they live, and find out all of our endorsed candidates, find out where they can go to vote, make sure they're registered, things like that. How to become a poll worker, how to do all the things that are connected with voting. Look, our job right now, if we're going to be about changing Texas and making Texas a place that is more respectful of working people, we need to change the folks who are in office. No question about it. We are focused on flipping the Texas State House. We are focused on winning an important seat in the Texas Senate. And I think we have a really good shot at getting 38 electoral votes for Joe Biden and getting rid of John Cornyn. Did y'all see John Cornyn this week? That was one of the weakest performances by a politician I think I've ever seen, and that goes somewhere. But he's trying to say now, well, I've been up the whole time, but I just, I've been quiet about it, So that tells you all you need to know about his courage. But anyway, we can make some real change here. We can make real change, but it's not easy work. And y'all are doing the work, okay? Y'all are doing the work every day, and we need some help. So if folks would, want to have as much fun as this and, hang out with these folks more often, we do text banks, we do phone banks. Just sign up, and we'll get you all the information about how you do it from there. So,
come join us.
Come join us. There you go.
Just come join us.
Yeah, I mean, I got 3 organizers on here. Somebody needs to recruit somebody. Okay.
I've made lots of new friends with the steel workers that I had never really known, and met a lot of great people. And there's a lot of lasting relationships that comes out of something like this, and organizing and doing that sort of thing. Organizing is fun. You get to meet new people. You get to make new friends. You get to learn something new. You get to be part of something. Organizing is fun.
That's it.
Yes,
That's
it is.
Pablo, do you notice any difference, like in folks that from the fact you're doing the work here in Texas as opposed to California, or is it still just pretty much the same thing?
No, it's different. It's totally different. I mean, their response are different than in California. You can tell California is a blue state. So when our majority of the candidates here are union labor friendly are Democrat. So our response is pretty good. Working and reaching out to Texans. It's different. Their response, they're very conservative, which is, I respect that. Not everybody's like, yeah, I'm voting for Joe Biden. I know who I'm voting for. Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Right.
And usually here you get a response like they tell you who they're voting for. They don't hold back. So, but it's a great experience. I really do like reaching out to other union members. So
yeah,
I'm enjoying it.
Great. And so, if we're able to be successful in our politics, that'll be something that y'all can carry with you for the rest of your lives, that you made a difference in changing the whole state of Texas. I mean, that's got to be a pretty powerful, motivating thing. Do y'all think about that?
All the time.
Yeah.
Every minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think that, it's hard work in Texas, but the reward can be so powerful. If we change Texas, I always say, if we change Texas, we change this country. And then you change this country, you change the world. And, that's like, we have the who in their lifetime has the opportunity to really do something that is going to change the world through their work on a daily basis, by making the phone calls, by doing the texting. And the fact that you guys are doing it and that your unions are doing it is a really powerful testament to your commitment to making this world a better place. So we appreciate that. Do y'all have anything you'd like to share with our folks that are watching? Any messages, any threats, any, enticement, any last thoughts or feelings? Vote. Okay.
Voice matters. Labor matters.
Yes.
Definitely. I would like to tell you guys that are listening, give it a try. Come out and volunteer. Just do 5 phone calls, 10 phone calls. It doesn't matter. Get out, volunteer, try it out. That's the only way you're going to know if you enjoy it or not. And you'll be making a difference, even if it's just 5 or 10 phone calls. You might just like it and end up doing 100 phone calls. You never know. You just got to try it.
That's right. That's cool. And also, we have some really cool T-shirts and stuff for like folks that do the work. So, I mean, I'm not saying, I'm just saying is all. So, So let's see how many folks want. Go ahead, Tina.
And they get to hang out on Zoom calls with us as well. So that's what better way to spend an afternoon than on a Zoom call, making calls and text banking with us.
Yeah, I mean, how can you even put a price tag on that?
That's right.
I mean, people in California and New York pay top dollar to do that, but here it's free. Anybody wants to can join. We'll move things around. That's awesome. All right. Well, listen, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your work. Thank you for your vision. Thank you for your commitment. I'm really excited. We have 2 weeks to go, and 2 weeks to go, and then maybe some more time after that, making sure that all the votes get counted and everything is as it should be. But I'm comfortable that when November 3rd comes, we're going to be able to look back and say, as a movement, we didn't put anything on the table. That we put it all out there because it's all on the line right now. And y'all's volunteering and you're all working with us on this is a huge part, and it's really meaningful to us. So we don't want you to think at all that we take it for granted. We really appreciate it. We'd love to have the rest of y'all join us. Wednesday night at 6:00 is going to be lit. Okay. It's going to be lit. I mean, we are going to be texting. We're going to send probably 50,000 just on Wednesday night. So you want to be part of that. Yeah. So, all right. Then
just 50,000. I think we're going to be sending out more than that.
All right. Tina has issued a challenge.
I want to say one. I want to say one thing about when you receive a text message from somebody.
Oh yeah.
Thank them for the work they're doing. Oh, when you receive a phone call, thank them for the work they're doing. They're working for you. They're doing things to benefit your future. Give them a thank you.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? I'm glad you said that, Mark, because I was going to ask you, like, what do you want to tell the people? Because, some people do get real irritated when, like when they get a call or a text. But just understand it's your brothers and your sisters trying to bring you into something bigger than yourself and bigger than ourselves to where we can really make a difference. So thanks for saying that, Mark, and thank you all for your work. Okay, break's over. Y'all get back to work.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see y'all later. Take care.